Look at that. What is going on with these motherboards? Why is there another massive chip in the end of this corner? There is a big dent in there and in there. That front panel pin is bent in this corner. Oh, look at that. You can see how they've wiped the thermal paste. Look, it's all over there. What's going on? ASUS, you're trying to sell RMA products in Europe as new. It's ridiculous. This is where the Wi-Fi antenna is supposed to be. It's not there. This is our front panel connector and it's already bent. So they've just thrown it in there. This is a total scam now. ASUS, this is bad. So this is me from the future, and I just want to say that I didn't make this video because what's going on with, Gamers Nexus and ASUS and what's been talking about in the news. I started this video way before, and what I found was independent, but I highly recommend you watching till the end of the video to really see the conclusion of this and why there's so many boxes in here.
Looking for a cheap way to license your Windows? Check out Whokeys through the links in the video description. Make sure to use the code TN20 to get 25% off. Use your preferred payment method including PayPal or bank card. Go to your orders and copy the key. Paste the license to the activation settings and you're all done. This license is for Windows 10, but you can upgrade it to Windows 11 for free.
Or you can buy Windows 11 Pro key instead.
They also offer Microsoft Office 19 license. Use the same code TN20 to get 25% off. Check out whokeys.com in the video description below.
So did you know ASUS offers Advanced RMA, at least here in Europe? So basically how this works is that when you buy any of the server products or ProArt products, including monitors, you can get a replacement unit sent to you before you actually send back your faulty one. And I personally bought myself, or we built ourselves, the editing PC a year ago, a little over a year ago now. And we used the ProArt Z790 Creator Wi-Fi motherboard. And I realized that actually there is something wrong with my motherboard because the Thunderbolt ports aren't working. So then I remembered that I've talked about the Advanced RMA. Now, finally, I managed to try it. So let me tell you about my experience with the ASUS RMA Europe department. On Friday, 19th of April, I filled out the RMA form online. And on the online form, you tell about your serial numbers, the product issue, what's going on, which products, as well as your shipping and billing address. They specifically ask, or there's a box that you can tick if the billing address is the same as shipping address, and in my case, it is not. Then on a Monday, the 22nd, I got a confirmation email from the RMA department of ASUS saying, look, we've got your form, we're sending out a new one for you, and it should be with you by the end of 25th of April. Now, on 24th of April, the item arrived, but not with me, but to the billing address, because my billing and shipping address is different. And then I went through all sorts of things to actually get it back from there, because it's not a very easily accessed location for me. I finally got this one here. Now, I'm still in the talks with the RMA department, and I'm gonna see if they refund me the shipping and other costs that I had to pay for fixing their, false shipping location. They were very funny with me on the email at first because they said, oh, next time you don't have to fill the two separate addresses out, and if we need a billing or shipping address from you, then we'll let you know on email. But I'm saying, why did you even have this or ask me this in the first place if these are different? And obviously shipping address means where you're gonna send this to. I don't know why they thought this was wrong. But since the RMA department is not actually in UK, I'm not sure how good their English is, because this came from Czech Republic. So I believe I can show you this document here. Ships from ASUS Czech, somewhere over there. And we've got the motherboard in here. It says that the goods value is 150 euros. So apparently the replacement motherboard is 150 euros, not 500, 450, what they sell it in retail. So that's interesting. So that was the commercial invoice that was attached to this box. I opened the box maybe 15 minutes ago, first time, and I'm so glad they actually thought I'll just film the B-roll of this when I'm opening this, because otherwise you would have not believed what I got. So the box comes like this. There's a little thing in here that says Z790 Creator Wi-Fi. I'm not bothered about this not being retail box, but the packaging is quite alright. It's well covered, it was well sealed, but then we have the motherboard, and you can clearly see there is no films on this. This chipset cover is full of scratches. I haven't opened up the heatsinks here. I don't know if they even have films on yet or not. So let's see. Okay, they have put a new film in there. Yep, there's a film in there as well. Oh, okay, there we go. Can you see how these have been replaced? I'm not getting a new replacement, but the biggest fail of this is this. If I open up the socket, can you see what's going on in there? Let me zoom in. Can you see inside the CPU socket, there is a little solder or metal piece inside the CPU socket on the pins, which means that if I put my CPU in there, 2 of the pins are going to connect to each other, and I don't know what that's going to short, or I don't know what's going to happen. That is not good for the CPU. That silver piece in there, that is actually like some kind of solder that connects 2 CPU's pins together in that socket there. Oh, another thing I just realized. Can you see this pin here? That front panel pin is bent in this corner. It's a little bit, it's not a big thing. So where are we up to right now? Right now I have asked and sent them pictures of the socket, and I'm asking, can you send me a replacement of a replacement what you sent to me, because this ain't gonna work. And we'll see where this is gonna lead to. I'll guess I'll see you soon with some updates. So this is 30th of April right now, and I just got an answer from the dear friends from Advanced RMA Pro Ad. By dear friends, you know I'm being sarcastic here. They said that we can provide you another RMA. It looks like contamination from cooling paste, which should be thrown away. But it's up to you if you dare to do it. Or if you'd rather want a new RMA, please let me know. Firstly, I'm not sure if they know what they're talking about. Thrown away, like the board, I asked them if they mean like recycling the board. By thrown away, they mean clean up, like the cooling paste needs to be cleaned up. It's not cooling paste. It's some kind of metal. It's liquid metal either. Well, actually, it can't be liquid metal because it's solid. So my best case is that it's some kind of solder joint that when someone was preparing or repairing the motherboard, whether there was some capacitors or whatever, if they're using the solder iron and then one dripped a bit of tin tipped into the socket, that's what's happened. And they said, if you dare to do it. I said, I'd like a new RMA, please. And by saying throwing away, do you mean recycle the board? And it's not thermal paste, it's metal. I just wanted to make sure that they know what this is. And then they just ignored all of this and said, please provide the information where we want to have the pickup of the board. So now they're going to pick up the broken board that they sent me, and then I don't know when the new one's going to come. I've just asked them when the new actually replacement is going to come. I don't know. So far, I'm without the board. I've paid extra shipping because of they sent it to the wrong place. Oh my word. I don't know where this story is going to end. Right, the story continues. So now we've gone backwards and forwards trying to make sure it gets picked up. The broken board that was sent to me, it gets picked up now. And I'm just showing you these emails here. There's 5 different labels and attachments attached that you have to print out, fill out, and do all sorts of things. So basically, this is the form that they'd like me to fill out. Right, firstly, this is some kind of a random Excel sheet that they've sent to me. Ship from, customer address. I mean, there's nothing labeled here, which one should you fill out? I mean, this doesn't seem to be very good to me. Customer address, so I assume that is my address, but shipped from here. But I don't know why I have to fill this one out, because they already have the information. All the other DHL labels that they filled out for me with the information I gave them, they already have this information, so I don't know what they're doing this one. Pro forma invoice, I don't know if this is an actual mistake here. Why is there a hashtag in there? Then RMA number, I don't know if I'm supposed to fill that out, if they're supposed to fill that out. It's like not shown like what needs to be filled out, and is it pre-filled out? So model description, they know that already. Why do I have to tell them this is ProAd Z790, blah, blah, blah. Quantity 1, but they've filled out the amount. So it's like some pre-filled. They're telling me how much the amount of this is in euros, but they're telling me what it is. Why don't you just fill it all out if you know the information, right? Delivery, terms of delivery, don't know what that means. Weight, quantity of boxes. I just told them and they just confirmed with the DHL label how many of these there is. So I don't know. Delivered to you free of charge. Wait a second, what's delivered to me free of charge? Like, I don't understand. Is it something gets delivered to me? Or this is a comment for somebody else that something gets delivered to them free of charge? Can you see how confusing this is? Advanced my backside. No commercial value, for custom purposes only. Date, company stamp. Company stamp? So are they asking this from me or from them? Like, what's going on in here? If you know this information, I shouldn't be filling this out. This should be filled out by you. Anyway, it just made me slightly mad that this process is taking a long time and you have to go and do lots of things. So far, I don't see how this is advanced at all. Anyway, we'll see where we get to. I don't know how this video is gonna end. So, here we are again, another update on the RMA. This box here is now the new replacement of the motherboard. So the second one they have sent. This arrived on Friday the 3rd of May. The pickup for the wrong, do you remember where we had the bit of liquid in the socket? That one didn't get picked up because of the pro forma invoice that I didn't exactly know how to fill out. So basically, I just guessed how to fill it out. So when you're doing it, you might find it confusing as well, because there wasn't like any lines like where you have to form. There's like lots of random things and you're thinking, I think I'll put this detail in there. So because I didn't have it filled out, I asked the DHL guy who came to pick it up. He said, look, I can't pick it up without that thing because it's in an international shipment and you need that invoice. So now I have it and I can just see that DHL has sent me a collection email. So that's the 7th of May now to collect the other one. But now let's take a look what this motherboard is like now, the replacement. They've got a little ASUS sticker here, so this is like the void sticker in there. Similar paper, similar packaging. Okay, so this is the replacement motherboard. Firstly, there is a big dent in there and in there. Can you see the dent in there? And the same on this side, on this heatsink, a little bit over there. Just looking if I can see anything weird or different. I can definitely see that even this motherboard is not a new mod. Oh my word. This PCB has been chipped on this side. Can you see this corner here? So it's been dropped, this motherboard. So why do they keep sending me some randomly old motherboards? So you can see in the back there is another scratch in there. This is not an original ProAd socket cover. It'll look like that. So let's take a look at this socket. Okay, that seems to be clean. Although the socket is so full of thermal paste. Look, there's thermal paste all over there, even there as well. So it's not a perfect replacement, but I guess if it works right. Okay, one heatsink is fine. Let's take a look at the other one. Yep, this is original one as well. And here as well. So it seems like they've put new-ish heatsinks on. I can see that the top one, it should be the long one, but they've cut it and attached just a short one here. It should be long like this one there, usually on the top one. So next I'm gonna install this into our system and then hopefully everything's gonna work. And then I'll let you know if we've got any other updates. Right, now I'm absolutely fuming. So I've spent the whole morning, it's 12:10 right now, and my editor's supposed to be already working with this, so I've lost 4 hours of today of actual working time that I've figured out some kind of alternative how we can do that. The service called Advanced doesn't feel so advanced to me. As you can see, the editing PC is actually behind me. This is the one that we're editing. If you see closely, you can see I've got only one RAM stick in because the motherboard they sent me is broken. The one that was in that box, so this is the one that I took out, that was my working one with Thunderbolt issue. They sent me an even worse one. Number one thing that's wrong with it, it's got a broken DIMM channel. Check this out. So this is on the 3rd slot right now, and it's been on that RAM circle thing for like hours. It's just never gonna go past it. Whatever you do, clear CMOS. I even updated BIOS, like BIOS flashback. It's just stuck in there, believe me. Watch this. Okay, I changed the channel, so now there's only one stick on the very right. Goes to RAM training. Well, previously I did get a post on that channel. Oh, there we go. See, RAM went off. VGA. And watch that, we're gonna get a boot. Right. But right now I've got 2 keyboards connected to it, but none of the USB ports on this motherboard are working. Okay, one keyboard over here. You're supposed to press F1 there. Well, now I got in. That's weird. Okay, everything's disabled. Right now it seems to be working. I've got something else plugged in the front here. As you can see, we're getting into Windows. 2 seconds. Oh no, check this out. They're not working. Something hangs on Windows. Nothing. I can't do anything in there. Windows just hangs. Once I get to there, none of the USB ports work. So this is the second broken motherboard that they've sent me. I'm gonna send them an email now. Say, this is the second one that's broken. What's going on? But here I am now. We're 10 days short of a whole month now when we requested the RMA. And we're still actually worse off than before I requested the RMA. At least I had the whole PC working. Now nothing's working on the PC. I guess I'll see you soon and see what happens. So, story continues. The 3rd RMA motherboard now arrived. Is this the 3rd one? Is it the 2nd one? It's the 3rd one, isn't it? I've forgotten because it's taken so long. So this arrived yesterday, 16th of May, 2024. Let's see what it's like, okay? So, as you can see, there is the ASUS seal on top of this, which we're going to be cutting through. Now, I was informed on email that all motherboards were pre-tested from the, you know, their service center, whatever it's called. It's not factory, something in Czech Republic. They said that they were tested and obviously working, but this motherboard that's in there, that's like so broken, it's unbelievable. I don't think you can actually cause that much damage in shipping. Even if you throw it into the van, it's not going to do it because you'll see it's been packaged very well. ASUS test program testing result tested. Memory function error. So I'm not sure if this is now the problem that I have with mine, because I still have, like, this is broken there. And then I've got my old one that I still haven't sent back. That's still kind of the best out of the 4 motherboards that we've gone through now. So I'm not sure what these mean here. I'm a little confused. Okay, so here's our motherboard then. And as you can see, it's like very soft. There's a soft pad underneath and soft pad on the top. You can't really damage this motherboard unless there's a hole in the box and something falls through. It's not gonna get damaged. Okay, whenever removing motherboard from the box, a little tip, put your fingers in the back on the CPU contact on there, so you're not touching parts on the motherboard that you're not supposed to. Okay. I think this time they might have changed their mind, because as you can see on the back, the IO shield, we still have a sticker on it. Yeah, it's still not new motherboard, because I can see that on the top there, it's been inside the case because there's been something that's blown through. So someone's just left the IO shield on, but it's definitely not a new motherboard. As you can see, there's some scratches or scrapes, something over there. It does come off, but it's dusty in there as well. That's dusty. The good thing is we do have an original socket cover, plastic socket cover in there. So these screws here are a little scraped or slit. So I don't know what GPU or what they've had in here. There's a bit of a damage in here. I can see the screw holes, definitely damaged. Little chip on that side of the motherboard. Let me do a little inspection. Again, look at that. What is going on with these motherboards? Why is there another massive chip in the end of this corner? Look at that. There's a dent in the corner, like someone's dropped it or put it somewhere in. Like, what is wrong with this? How can they make motherboards like that? And I don't know if this is actually jamming some of these like different layers of PCBs, and if it's actually shorting some of the RAM, or, well, not RAM, but whatever connectors there underneath. Oh my word. So what am I supposed to do with this? How do I know if this is not already faulty? Okay, what is going on in here? So I've found a solder joint in here. So can you see this joint over here? How this is completely different, like a blob of some kind of different tin metal compared to like the one next to it over here. So that one there is very, very different. So there's been some kind of fault in here, or still is. I don't know yet. I'm just looking if there's anything else or like physical damage that I can see on the motherboard. And they're testing. I don't know if they test everything. If they get a post, is that like a test for them? I don't know what type of testing it goes through. Honestly, if this doesn't work either, I don't know what is going on. Maybe these are all from like the same vendor or someone, whoever's installed or put them in certain case that just chips the corner of these motherboards. That is not normal. The last bit now, let's take a look at the CPU socket. Okay, that looks clean. Obviously not cleaned still. There is thermal pad all over the sides there. You can still see it obviously underneath there. There's thermal pad in there. Let me get some things installed here. Test if this is working, and we'll go from here. Okay, so I have got everything now installed. The cooler is a little bit temporary. I've got my 128 gigs of RAM, the OS SSD and the secondary SSD installed. Every plug that we need is plugged in. Some of the fans might not be plugged in, but that doesn't really matter as long as the CPU coolers are on. So let's see if we can get a power supply on. I haven't installed the GPU either. I'm just going to use the internal GPU. I'm going to have to hold the AIO down because I don't want to put the bracket on and everything on before we actually get that. There's a thermal pad in there. It should be fine, but let's go here now. Okay, CPU went through. RAM. Oh, that RAM could take a while. Oh, that went through quite quick. Come on. VGA, okay, clicked off. That's fine. That's fine. It's going to do it one more time. Okay, see, VGA, now check in. It should be iGPU. Now give us a post. There we go. Green, there we go. New CPU installed. Okay, let me put the keyboard and mouse. I can see when I'm not putting proper pressure on, the fans kick in because the CPU temperature goes higher. So we'll go F1. Okay, in BIOS we are 2202. I don't remember if that is the new version. The only thing, make sure that, okay, this one here, enforce all limits. Thank you very much. There we go. Let's get into Windows. Restart my PC because this hasn't turned on for so many times. Okay, we're in Windows. I gotta keep the pressure on properly. Where is my hardware info? No, you're not there. Anyway, so let me turn this off for a second. Plug in everything else as well as the Thunderbolt that I wanted to test, and then see if that actually works. Okay, get my cooler off. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, that beeping that you heard in the background was the QNAP NAS that basically just let me know that a Thunderbolt device has been plugged in, something has been plugged in, which means that the Thunderbolt is working. And I think we have good news. Wait a second, I'll just, there we go, just keep the pressure on there. Okay. But something's weird. This has frozen. Okay, that's odd. Why is this not working? Let's try reset. Again, the NAS is letting me know this works, but for some reason it freezes when we get there. Okay, there we go. Okay, right now it's right. Okay, whoever owned the motherboard last has a weird color scheme of the RGB going, but see, that's the weird thing. Why are the USB stop working once I get to Windows? What's going on? Okay, why is this happening? Something is wrong, but what is it? Okay, as you can see, I wonder how long does it take for this to freeze? And it's frozen. How is this possible? Why? Whew. I'll have to think now. Why is it doing that? Okay, so today is Tuesday, the 21st of May. This is over a month later of my advanced RMA process. This video is taking quite long to film, and this is my PC. As you can see, there is no motherboard in there. There's one motherboard on this side, there's one over there, there's one in the back over here, and there's one more coming, and they're all broken. So now ASUS has actually sent me the fourth one. They've requested or started another RMA, fourth one. So I've got a fourth motherboard coming now. The first three were all broken. The one that you saw in the last clip was working at first, but then it was still doing some weird things. Maybe because of the chip on the bottom of the motherboard corner. But some of the USB ports weren't working and it wasn't properly posting. So you might be wondering, what's this Amazon Prime box doing over here? Motherboard. And that's supposed to be brand new, but they've already got a little sticker in here as well. Basically, I can't wait. This process is absolutely ridiculous. Advanced RMA, let's say this process should have taken max 5 days, and that would have been very long. If this is the professional service that they're trying to show you how fast you can get your PC back up and running, and this has been over a month, what's going to happen to the businesses, to the creators, you and me who run the businesses and have the PC like that for a month? Now, I'm in a very fortunate position that, you know, because we're doing this channel, I've got other PCs and I'm able to figure out a replacement, but not everybody has. And even the replacement things, this is not ideal because suddenly there's not certain things in there and, you know, you're going to have to work your workflow around it. But we're still getting the work done. Our workload has definitely slowed down because of this, but it should have been up and running within a week max. This is now the 5th week running, maybe even more, and it's ridiculous. So basically, I bought a new one from Amazon. This is the new one. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, why do they keep sending me broken motherboards? This is not that I'm so unlucky. If I'm unlucky, I get 2 broken motherboards. Not third one, and they say we've checked it, but like it's so obviously broken. The box is not, you know, broken in any way, but the motherboards have been chipped in the corner. That means that somehow, however they do it in their test center, something's being broken, and you shouldn't have solder in the socket. That is not an accident. That's not a shipping damage. That is seriously something gone wrong in the testing center, or someone sent the wrong one back to them and they think, oh, it seems to be working, let's send it on to somebody else. Oh my word. By the way, while I've been filming this, looks like there's some other ASUS things kicking off as well with Gamers Nexus and things, and this is totally unrelated. I started making this video way before any of that was released. Since we had the ProAd PA602 kind of build lying around there anyway, so what I did was I kind of adjusted and upgraded our PC to this one, because while we were using this one, we realized this is such a good case. I know this is a little bit bigger than like our case in here, but the airflow and silence of this was so much better. And if you need to do anything, it's just so much more practical than this one over here. So I actually kind of upgraded or built like a new one, since we had some parts lying around. Well, basically I had another Z790 Creator Wi-Fi that ASUS sent me for testing, so which is basically now that I'll put it in there, and that one was, you know, when this was launched, so this was a sample product. So basically we're using the sample now. The one that I bought is like in there, and then that's gonna go back now. Is the problem sorted yet? No, not yet. There's supposed to be another, you know, motherboard coming, and I'll leave this in the end of the video. We're gonna check that out, see if there's any damages or what the motherboard looks like. Am I happy with the advanced RMA service from ASUS? Absolutely not. Do I think this is advanced RMA? Something seriously wrong in there. If they keep sending such broken motherboards from the test center, they need to really check out what's going on in there. And are these motherboards really tested? Because, I mean, there's so many things wrong. I mean, you've seen the video. It's absolutely crazy ridiculous. Something needs to change, ASUS. And as much as I love your products, this is not okay. We've done a lot of good things on the channel, but that's not okay. Now, I've asked on the channel before, but if you have had any ASUS Advanced RMA experience or anything like that, whether good or bad, please let me know in the comment section below, because I'd love to know if this is just me being weird or if this is happening to somebody else. And also, if you've had good experience, please let me know as well. I'm not making this video just to like hate on somebody or just make a, I don't know, upset video. I hope that this was going to be fluent, and I can praise how good the advanced RMA service is going to be, you know, from the beginning of the video. But it turned out to be quite a bad experience. Whatever experience you've had ASUS's RMA, let me know in the comment section below, as well as like the country where it's happening from, whether it's like Europe, Asia, North America, wherever, because they might also differ slightly, because they have different like repair and different RMA systems and centers and so on. So I'd love to know your experience, and that's it. Apart from that, if you do want to build yourself the best bang for buck creator PC, there's some build guides in the description below, as well as Minect if you do want to reach out. I get back to all of my Minect messages, so feel free to check out that. And I'll meet you in the comment section below. So, I thought that was the end of the video, but this is the new motherboard that I bought from Amazon. The seller is Amazon Business EU, which means it's Amazon's their own seller, right? So I thought that this sticker looks a little bit odd. And then there's like a sticker in here on top of it, which probably is an RMA sticker, okay? I'm gonna take this one off. And when I opened it up, I just literally cut that sellotape once, you know, we finished this, and I thought, oh, okay, I'm just gonna check the motherboard before I'm gonna return it. One of the things I'm like, this is where the Wi-Fi antenna is supposed to be. It's not there. Look at the box, how this is crumpled up. I haven't tested or checked anything. I literally saw this and I was like, whoa, I gotta put the cameras back on because this is weird. Let's check out this motherboard then. Obviously box, we'll check out the accessories. You've got it here. Okay, the Wi-Fi antenna is there. So they've put it underneath there, not on the top, which is a little bit odd. That's why they had to put the sticker in there. Look, this is our front panel connector, and it's already bent. Can you see? So they've just thrown it in there because, oh my word. They tried to like match all the accessories, what's in there, but I think this is another RMA product that they tried to sell as new. What is going on? This is a total scam now. Okay, let's take a look at the motherboard. Firstly, there's no sticker or no films on here. There's no film in there. There's a few scratches in there. Okay, I can see that this has clearly been used. I mean, look at this, guys. Can you see on the VRMs there? This is where people's fingers, and because I know I've done it like now, I don't know, dozen times almost. The fingers, look, it's all over. So these are not clean, and they've tried to mount, obviously, the AIO or whatever. So this has gone all over. So this has been used. This is not new, ASUS. I don't know in what terms is this new. This is ridiculous. Look, they've even left the RAM slots open that they've used. Okay, I know they've used 2 slots because these 2 are in. It's ridiculous. I mean, let's open up the socket. Let's take a look. And yes, it is flipping used. Okay, the socket looks clean, but look at that. You've got thermal paste all over this socket. And even on the socket cover, plastic. Oh, look at that. You can see how they've wiped the thermal paste. Look, it's all over there. What's going on? Oh my word. ASUS, this is bad. Very bad. You're trying to sell RMA products in Europe as new. It's ridiculous. Oh, look. There was a piece of evidence of their whatever test pad they're testing this on. So obviously they're taking it off and putting it on a mat like that. That's a little bit rubbery and foamy. And I can see a piece of that is stuck in there because that pin is bent over there. This doesn't necessarily say that the motherboard is broken, but it's definitely not new. That's what I'm saying to you. Well, this is going back and I'm going to get a new one because that is not new and I'm not paying for that. Oh my word. ASUS, you might not know that this is happening in Europe, but whoever these people are who are in charge of this, I bet they're coming from exactly the same place, the same Czech Republic center, and they're just selling these. Just so you know, ASUS RMA center, this goes inside there, okay? It doesn't go underneath the box, and now this, look, I can do the packaging for you. That goes in there, that holds the motherboard still. Oh. Where's the box now? Let's issue a return. Seems like I might have to keep this video going. See, like, where am I going to end up? Like, can I even buy a new one that comes here in Europe? This is very embarrassing. Okay, hopefully this is going to be the last part of this video, but I'm not sure. So, I've got one new motherboard from Amazon now. So this is the 5th motherboard, and here we've got the 4th RMA, which would be the 6th motherboard then that we've got in this process. So far, how many have we had now? Wait a second. So we had 3 RMAs, they were all broken. One new one, that was broken. Yeah, so 5 and 6. Okay, that's where we are. I'm gonna leave the new one last. We'll check out this one. Look, it's all sealed. By the way, I did ask ASUS, the RMA person who I've been in contact, or the email thread, I'm not sure if it's many people or one. I asked them if they sometimes sell the motherboards as new as well from their center, and their answer is, dear customer, both can occur with ARS. I don't know what ARS is. We use motherboard from HQ and the motherboards that we receive after ARS swap, which are repaired and tested. So I'm not sure how they do this and how do they sell these motherboards as new. That's what they said. So here's the new motherboard. There's a bit of a bulge in there now. Okay, this is a bit of a different foam that they've put in there. Okay. Okay, look at this tape now. This looks like they finally gave me a new motherboard, okay? They've probably seen what's been going on with Gamers Nexus and realized maybe who they've been emailing me. Well, that's like one of the sad sides that I forgot to like use an alias. I've been emailing from my main email account. But this now looks like a new motherboard. Firstly, we've got a sticker on there. We've got a sticker on here as well on the chipset. And this is not fake. It's not being put back on. We've got the rubber little thingy on the retention arm of the CPU socket. The CPU socket, interestingly, it's still used. It's still used. Would you look at that? So can you see there is thermal paste around the socket? It's interesting, like you can always check it when you look underneath because no one cleans the thermal paste underneath. I can see some thermal paste. Look at that. Look at my finger. There's thermal paste on my finger now. You can, I think, see where they have fixed some things. Now, if you look closely onto that bit over there, capacitor, SMD, I'm not sure exactly what that one is there. You can see that there is some like solder marks, and it's not as clean as some of the same like SMDs, like on this side, for example. It's very clean soldering, but this is a little bit messy, which looks like it's cleaned. And you can see that they've hit this fan header with a soldering iron because it's a little bit melted on that side. Maybe they replaced this fan header. Maybe that's why this is broken, or what was broken. The motherboard is not chipped this time on any of the corners. I can see full-size thermal pads underneath there. There is some damage on these heat sinks over there, so you can see that this is not new, and they've used still some kind of cooler that's scraped a little bit over there and over there. You still have the I/O shield on. Looks quite scratched, but I'm assuming everything is working. On the back of the motherboard, again, we can see the thermal pad or grease or something is here. Can you see this on the motherboard? There is a scratch, can you see over here on the back of the motherboard? I'm not sure how that's gone there between the RAM modules there. But so far, this definitely looks like the best motherboard that I've received from them as an RMA. And it looks like they haven't properly used it, because if you look at the screw holes, like over there, for example, you can see that there's no screws that have been screwed onto it. There's no scratches on the screw holes, which means that whoever's been using this before, there's been CPU in there with the CPU cooler, but maybe it was on like a test bench or something like that. I'm not sure. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the new motherboard from Amazon. This is Amazon seller as well, so we'll see if this is any different, and are they actually selling new motherboards or old motherboards. Okay, this time there is no sticker on it, and this motherboard looks new now, at least to me. Okay, yeah, so this is what you can clearly see what has been a new motherboard, side by side. This looks very clean, and there's no scratches or anything on it. You can very much see the difference there on that IRO, whatever SMD, and there's no like soldering issues over there. But this looks a little bit brown and like resoldered, and it's not like fixed over there. Not sure what's happened over there, but it's not looking like that. Interestingly, this new motherboard has an I/O cover that's like different yellow than that one over there. Yeah, you can definitely see that there's been no CPU or anything in this socket. That looks clean inside the socket. So finally, I think I got a new motherboard. So now I have all hopes that this here is now working, and since I've got mine already working, I'm just gonna send all of these ASUS RMAs back to them and say, look, fine, thanks for sorting this out, but you know, this was the problem basically, and it wasn't working and so on. I mean, this one looks to be working now. I've tested already 4 motherboards. I just can't be bothered testing this one. Now, I'm hoping that this works, but it shouldn't have been the 4th one that they've sent me that's broken. So this is the end of the story. I think the conclusion from the previous bit is still concrete, but this looks like the best one. It doesn't look obviously chipped or obviously broken. This motherboard is still very, very scratched. If you look at this heatsink on the chipset versus this one, then this chipset heatsink is a lot cleaner than this one. This has a lot of scratches on, and I don't know why. Well, finally I have my new motherboard. No issues there, but the RMA process was very bad.